right here. He'll hop on here shortly.
And now we are live officially. Beta Boys Weekly, Packers Corner, here before the Detroit Lions. Essentially a playoff game for the Packers here, right, guys? We had a little false start, delay a game, try it again from 5 yards further back. This is our second take. We had a little issue going live. But let me have you guys recapitulate your thoughts here as far as keys for the offense in the Packers as we get a little bit of an intro hype-up video prior to kickoff here. Dad, let me start with you. What do you think the offense needs to do in this pivotal matchup here?
Well, we were talking a little bit earlier about the leaders that have emerged on this team. And you used to kind of think you're putting it all on Aaron Rodgers, and our identity has not been to do that. It's been running game. Our identity might be the offensive line and protecting the passer and opening up holes in the running game. Talk about the leadership that you've had from the David Bakhtiaris, Randall Cobbs, Jair Alexanders, Kenny Clarks, to a lesser extent on special teams, Mason Crosby. And hey, let's not forget the fact that we really need to enjoy this one. We could be watching Mason's last game at Lambeau Field and Aaron's last game at Lambeau Field. And so I think we need to really soak it up and enjoy this one. But I think you're looking at an identity with a lot of leadership, a lot of experience. You got guys who've been through this before, and I think that's going to bode well for us tonight.
Schmitty, what do you look for on the offensive side of the ball to get past the Lions, who are eliminated from postseason contention but still have the opportunity to play the role of spoiler against us?
I'm looking for offensive possession time. We've been doing such a great job of that in the last month. Can we sustain long drives? Let's keep it out of the hands of the Lions. We know that they're playing spoiler. We could see a bunch of different things come out of them in their playbook. Let's mitigate some of that by us possessing the ball for a very long time. And that starts with 28 and 33, making sure that they're getting their amount of touches. Hopefully, Aaron Jones is healthy and he can take on a nice workload tonight and then get the ball to number 9. If he's ready to roll, we want to see some stuff out of him, some jet sweeps. I'd like to see two shots to Watson down the field and maybe get one in pretty early. Those are the 3 guys that I'm expecting a game out of, and then we're expecting a game out of number 12. Please, it's go time. This is the playoffs. You don't have much more left. Show out for your team. Show out for the team that plays for you. A bunch of guys look up to you in the locker room. Have their back and put in one of those MVP performances that we know you have in you.
Well, we haven't seen that recently from 12 here, Dad. Do you think, I mean, we talked a little bit about this last week. We weren't anticipating we were going to need 300 yards or 4 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers. But against a little bit or a pretty darn high-powered offense here in Detroit, and assuming we are fairly unlikely to get both a special teams and a defensive touchdown today, what do you think a successful performance from Aaron Rodgers is going to look like?
Well, first of all, we didn't need a big performance from him last week because of the 4 turnovers in the running game and everything else. We had 3 shot plays to Watson that were there to be made. One of them was an interference, so I can't put that on Rodgers. One of them, he was pretty close to connecting. And the other one, he overthrew him. So I'm just totally agreeing with Schmitty, and I think one of the keys here might be the fact, remember, there were no jet sweep actions out of Watson last week, and I think that's an indicator that his hip wasn't all the way there. He just, they didn't want to put that extra load on his body. I fully expect we will see jet sweep motions that are going to help the guys in the running game up the middle, and he should get the ball once or twice on that. And then we absolutely have got to get the ball in his hands a half a dozen times. And that's what's on Aaron. When your boy Watson clears into the open, in between zones on a crossing pattern, and gets behind the defense, let's put him on him. And you know what? Don't underlook Dobbs either. Dobbs can get behind the defense too. So there's going to be plays there to be made, and when they're there to be made, let's make them, Aaron.
I love it. On the other side of the ball here, we have much begrudgingly come to praise Joe Barry in the last couple weeks. Can they keep up the hot streak on that side of the ball and shut down the kind of multifaceted attack of Jared Goff? And then you got the running game with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift there. Do you think Joe Barry, we're going to be praising him as we have the last few weeks after this one's done here, Schmitty?
It certainly has been a 180, hasn't it? From early in the year when we had that really rough stretch against teams that we were touchdown favorites against, to now it's that adage, winning cures all, and it certainly has in this case. But maybe it's deserved. Joe Barry did a fantastic job against number 18 for the Vikings last week, and he's had the team. He forced 4 turnovers against the Dolphins, so it's there. It exists. Now, I don't expect to see a bunch of turnovers. While it would be nice to maybe get 2 tonight, you never can bank on them. And if you get them, if you win that turnover battle, you likely win a football game. But Joe Barry he's been around now for at least a couple seasons, and he has the respect amongst his peers. He might not have the respect amongst us, but it's trending in the right direction. We're ascending in part because of him and what he's been able to do on the defensive side of the ball. So let's keep the train rolling.
Quick sidebar, after that hype video showing us where we came from just 5 weeks ago, you pretty hyped up, ready to run through a brick wall, seeing as we came from 14 down against the Cowboys, Dad, continued through the most recent games of being against the Dolphins and the Vikings, who were tough opponents. It's all on the line here. It's the final countdown, as the video said there. Are you just hyped up for this one? I feel like it's a playoff game kind of today.
Definitely a playoff game atmosphere. I have a little trepidation. I'm not overconfident, but the boys should be able to do it. I just want to point out that a game and a half ago, in the first half, Miami looked like the second coming of the 71 Dolphins or 72 Dolphins. They had guys running wide open behind our defense. Those fast guys, number 10 and 17, you know who their names are. And we couldn't cover them to save our lives. And at halftime, the boys went in, the defensive backfield, and they got their rear ends reamed out by their defensive backs coach. And since then, play has been a lot different. So, but I'm not quite ready to crown Joe Barry yet. I'm really hoping that I will be able to cast a lot of bouquets and kudos in his direction. So that causes me to somewhat be cautiously optimistic, because we got our hands full. Jared Goff has been on fire. The only thing I would say is he has not been as good on the road. And so I think playing a dome team on the road gives us some hope. Those guys are carpet players. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a really quick as a cat and a short area quickness, and that should be neutralized somewhat by the field. So we got Lambeau Field advantage like we did against the Vikings, and hopefully the Lions will put the wrong shoes on in the first half.
Well, Jared Goff, California kid as well, of course, obviously our quarterback as well, but he's certainly adapted to the cold weather here. Jared Goff, a guy who played in LA, who's played in a dome, played for Cal. He hasn't played in too many cold weather games, as he's just, been in the NFC North the past few seasons here. So I think that is a reasonable factor there. Boy, if we left it all on the precipice, I don't even want to speak about that. That would be a tough one. I think we keep it all positive on the show here. We had a nice little segment of the show last time where we or the self-proclaimed first call-out show rather than a call-in show here. So we might have to get the phone lines going and get the vibe of our fellow colleagues in Packer Nation that way. Anyone on the list here you think we got to reach out to at some point and get the vibe from?
Well, I just want to say Derek was very prescient last week.
Where is he, Schmitty?
But he was our hero. He pointed out that Kirk Cousins wasn't very good in the afternoon game slot.
As you asked for him, he emerges. So I'm sure he'll come on and give us a prediction here.
Get Derek in here. But let me point out that I heard on the Dave Sinekin show today that Jared Goff has not won a game when the temperature's below 32 degrees. So there's my Derek Crumrye point to consider for this game.
That's your equivalent to Kirk Cousins.
Blue by chance? Is that kind of?
Yeah, there's no blue crush as we had the purple crush on. I still have my purple crush here. I haven't finished that. I've been slowly enjoying it, I guess, here. Derek, we were clamoring to hear from you. What do you have to say about the matchup?
I like the matchup. I just saw a little glimpse. Everyone's looking really cold. Anyone that's in a white jersey is looking really cold. Jared's got long sleeves. It looked like he had 2 gloves on. Jamal's even looking cold. So I don't know. I'm feeling kind of good. Feeling good. I didn't want to read too much into the Seahawks winning, but it is kind of a unique situation with how the NFL scheduled it. Normally they don't screw a team this badly like they did to the Lions, because a lot of times, even if you have nothing to play for, the teams that have nothing to play for still play pretty hard. And especially with the Lions coach, I expect them to play hard, but that's a pretty big morale killer just 45 minutes before kickoff.
Get that gut punch right before.
Downs, and then it just gets dashed in the 45 minutes before kickoff. Oh, we have no chance now. That is a little bit of a unique situation. So it could be more detrimental than what I originally thought, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. That's a good point, though. I think that it's not something where all week they came in preparing to play spoiler. This team's come in all week preparing to go to the playoffs and have a shot to do that, and so I think you're absolutely right on that front, Derek. I'm kind of curious.
Can I just interject here, Mr. Moderator?
Jump all over it.
I think Derek, there's something to be said there, but I think that coach is going to be spitting tacks in the locker room. It's us against them. The doggone league is against us. The whole stadium's against us. We got a chance to have a winning record. We got a chance to knock the Packers out of this and teach them a lesson. And he's going to have that place so fired up before it's all over. They're going to be beating their helmets against the wall, and they're going to come out and give us everything we want.
Yes, I agree that the one coach in the NFL that would have that ability to do that in this situation, the number one would be the Lions coach, I would say. But I'm just in the back of my head, these guys are adults, they're professionals. They might be like, well, yeah, you're saying all that, but we're not kids. We're not college kids getting ramped up. Yeah, it'd be great to be spoiler, but maybe it's not the most important thing to some of the people in that locker room. But if anybody can do it, Dan Campbell can do it for sure.
And I would think for their program too, this season leads into next season, and if they could pull off a victory like this and have a winning season, that'll carry over to next year. So he'll have plenty of reason to get. Now, admittedly, Derek, if later in the game we get out ahead and we get some distance, that could make them shut it down a little quicker than normal. So that's what we need to do.
Yep.
High ankle sprains, injuries of any sort, they pack it in. There's no need to stick it out. Wrap it up. Keep it moving. Packers win by 9.
That way.
Derek, what do you think of that scheduling in terms of, it was the NFL trying to – you would think the NFL wants Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. I don't want to read too much into this. But it does seem strange that they would set things up the way they did, to me at least.
It was definitely strange. I think as it was developing last week, I kind of thought we'd be the Sunday night game, but then I didn't fully vet out all the playoff scenarios and realized the Lions would be eliminated with the Seahawks win. So then I was like, oh, there's no way they're going to do that. And they weren't releasing it until Monday. They released the Saturday games, and it was like Jags Titans would have been an easy Sunday night game, but those aren't countrywide. There's not countrywide interest in those teams at all. So I know they probably didn't want to put them in the Sunday night spot for that reason. And so I was thinking they were really hoping the Bills would beat the Bengals. And it wasn't like the whole DeMar situation changed things, because they announced Packers before that game even kicked off. But if the Bills would have beaten the Bengals, if that game were played, it would have been a Bengals-Ravens, would have been Sunday night for sure, I would have thought. But they announced Packers-Lions before it, so I was super surprised. I don't know what conversations were happening to come to that conclusion.
Speaking of that Bills-Bengals game, Derek,
Yeah.
what did you allow to happen in our fantasy football league? It's sad that it's going to have to come to an end here, I think, after that debacle.
I don't really actually know what you're referring to.
Well, the fact
The
that
debacle?
we all saw T. Higgins secure a catch on the last play of the game there, lead me to the fantasy championship, and then those points were wiped from the board and scrubbed from the record. And now I'm sitting here with the ESPN app showing me a second place trophy.
So have you heard of any league, like if we were to pull 100 leagues we could find, is there any league that said yes to those 1.2 and 1.7 points and Joe Burrow's touchdown? Like, I don't think any league continued on with those points from that first 9 minutes.
I mean, I would absolutely guarantee that a league has done that. I haven't conducted any scientific polls to break down the numbers. I think it would be rare that a league would just erase those records and leave the current status as final. It's
Well, I
not
don't think
bothering
we're
me
doing
at
that
all,
yet.
though, as you can tell.
Yeah, I don't think we're leaving it as final yet. It's TBD still. I wasn't going to consider any of those week 18 options that some of the other leagues did. So that's why there was like no decision. I'm still kind of thinking over it, but I wasn't going to
Maybe
do
a
the week
playoff
18.
sort of a scenario. We going to be picking some players in the playoffs.
No, one thing that crossed my mind today was if the Bills Bengals were to play each other, we could potentially go that route because it's the exact same matchup. More stakes are involved, obviously, for those two teams, but at least it's the same team versus the same team. So that's an option because they will both be favored in their first round games, and then they would play each other in the second round if they were to both win. So that's something that crossed my mind today, but I haven't thought too much about it. Not too worried.
I like the update. I had to get that off my chest a little bit here. We got all our predictions here on the show earlier in the week, right, guys? Except for Derek. I want to get your numbers for the game here.
Okay, I will go Packers will win. It will be not as comfortable as last week because that'd be hard to do. I don't think we're going to be super up early. We might be up 4 to 7 points at halftime, something like that. But I do think we'll win by 11 to 17 point range. So, 2-score game, maybe we get it to 17. So I'll say 34 to 17 final. We'll get it up to that 17 3-possession win.
I would take it. I don't want to have to, be sweating this one out. If we could get up early and they score a couple late touchdowns and get to that score line, I'd be happy with that too, Derek.
Yeah, for sure.
Dad, I'm not remembering off the top of my head what your score was, but I think you had it as a little tighter than that.
Well, I kind of took the Derek tack that he took in the Vikings game, 31-27 with a late touchdown by the Lions to make it look a little closer. But having said all this, I'm not overly confident. I'm not naive to the fact that we could lose. It's, the recipe to lose is poor special teams play, another block punt, turnovers, giving them hope. And wasn't it last year that the Lions went all out with some flea flickers, and when Love came in at the end of the game and we had things sewn up, I think they beat us last year.
Yeah.
We
Love
rested played in the
Aaron
second half.
In the last game.
Yeah, and Love played pretty well, but they came out with all kind of gadget plays, and I think we talked about that. So we better be ready for that stuff.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they do some fakes, some tricks. They're going to be pulling out everything. I'm sure of it.
We had the much lauded Justin Jefferson, Jair Alexander matchup last week. Derek, I know you're a big Amon-Ra St. Brown fan.
Yeah.
He operates a little bit out of the slot too there, so I don't know if Jair will be one-on-one as much as we were able to see that against Justin Jefferson last week. But other than giving him the wrong cleats, how do we slow him down?
Yeah, Amon-Ra, he's tricky. He's very quick. He gets open. He finds the open seams and zones, and he can beat you man to man. He's got quick feet. But yeah, like you said, I don't know if Jair is going to be matching up on him as much as we saw him with JJ. I think I saw a lot of Viking fans. You guys kind of touched on it. It was like, oh, Jair had so much help, and it's like that's on purpose. Like JJ's a really good player. Like we're not going to just put him one-on-one on an island, like stuff like that. But yeah, I just don't think we're going to see a lot of Amon-Ra versus Jair straight up. It'll happen here and there, but they got other good receivers as well. Like especially, Jameson Williams getting healthy. Like the Lions have.
How much
weapons.
has he been playing as of late? I haven't followed that.
He doesn't get a lot of snaps, I don't think. I just know, I think either his first healthy game or his second game, he caught like a deep ball for a touchdown. That was his only catch. So he's not getting a huge snap load, but they have weapons more than Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I don't see him following him around the field too much.
Too bad the other St. Brown brother didn't quite pan out like that for us. That one stung a little bit. Well, we did talk about our call out segment here. Do you think we should get anyone on the horn? What are your guys' thoughts?
Papa, let's try to get one or two quick ones in. I think, are we 10 minutes from kickoff or 15 minutes?
We're about 15 minutes from kickoff, so we get a call or two in and then send it off to the professionals here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think we'll give do we go back to the well on Al Larson? He came in pretty clutch for us there.
Why wouldn't we do the same thing we did last week? Don't change a darn thing here.
Would we get? We got both the Larsons and Papa. Let's see how that goes.
Get Al and Papa. That's all that matters here.
I like it. Let's give it a shot.
Nick's not watching, so you don't need to call in.
Yeah, he said he's emotionally invested now, though. So that's it's been voting well for us
probably
so
together,
far.
Al and Nick.
Yeah, I would think so. All right.
Although Nick does that thing where he shows up 5 minutes after kickoff, so misses the first 5 minutes.
This is Al.
Al, we got you back on the Packers corner here. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Is Gar and Tyler gonna pick against the Packers tonight again?
No, I think they committed already to picking the Pack. They didn't go back to the well on motivating the boys. But my dad says he's a little bit shaky on his confidence here. Are you feeling a little bit more confident than he is?
I think that Dan Campbell's going to go for it on fourth down all the time. I think he wants to wreck our party.
Are we going to stop him on fourth down?
Yeah.
I like it.
If the defense plays like what's that, Tyler?
Then there's nothing to worry about, Al. We invite them to go for it on fourth down at all times so that we may score on their dumb decisions.
I'll be worried. Don't get me, but
you just relax on that couch of yours, that chair. Maybe rub that wood paneling to your left. Tell your son to go get you a drink and enjoy the show.
Let's do it.
I love it, Jimmy. Derek, what do you have for Al?
Al, I want you to remain calm throughout this game. We're going to play well. We're not going to play perfect, but we're going to play well. We're going to get stops. We're going to get a turnover or two. I know we got a big streak of that, but we're going to continue that streak tonight. Rodgers is going to play well. He's not going to play elite, but he's not going to make any dumb mistakes. And our special teams will not have any blocked punts.
Stay off that Milwaukee Journal, Al. No Milwaukee Journal during the game. And I'll be checking.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not going to be on the forum. I'm just going to be watching the game.
Good.
Locked in, one-track mind here. Dad, do you have any thoughts you want to bounce off our guest here?
Well, I think we need a prediction from our buddy. And by the way, it's not that I'm terribly nervous or anything. I'm just humble. I'm remaining humble, confident yet humble. And let's go get her done. What's it going to be, Al?
Oh boy, I'm thinking 24-14.
Comfortable. We get it done.
What do you guys think?
Packers or Detroit?
Packers.
Okay, just checking.
And I think the record is 3-27 at Lambeau. The Detroit is, and what is Rodgers' record at Lambeau this late in the season? 8-1 or something, or what is it? Do you guys know that against Detroit?
I don't know
Something
that one
like that.
off the top of my head, but he's been awfully good here in the late goings, especially in the regular season. If all goes well, we got to see if we can do the same in the postseason. But we won't have to be at Lambeau, I guess, so it'll be on the road.
Right. Yeah.
Al,
we'll
thanks
have to go
for
down and first things first, get this game, and then let the chips fall where they may, because we know what it's been like to go down to San Francisco, but maybe this is the time.
It's got to be our time at some point.
Only Tony Dungy picked the Detroit to win. Everybody else on the telecast.
America said Lions.
Yeah.
What did Terry Bradshaw say? Did he have a pick?
Yeah, I didn't see him. He wasn't on this. He's not on this broadcast. But he would have picked Detroit. We all know that.
He was our good luck charm in 2010. I know that.
I know it.
What's Derek slamming over there? Is he okay?
He's drinking coffee right now. That's very concerning.
Okay. Boy, he's going to be fired up.
That wouldn't align with him and his 34-17 victory call out.
All right.
I'm going to throw him outside and cool him off a little bit.
What did everybody else get for scores?
All right,
What did everybody else get for
so
scores?
that should calm him down a little bit.
Al, I think my dad had it sort of as a late score here from the Lions to make it a little bit closer than it otherwise would have been. Did you say 31-24 there, Dad?
31-27.
27, excuse
4
me.
points, like Vegas.
Derek said somewhere between 11, 14 points, somewhere in that range.
34-17.
34-17 was
And we've had a clean sweep for the Packers here today. A little bit different than our projections last time.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's all in there. It's all right in front of them. I mean, you're at home and you're playing to get in the playoffs. If you can't do it, then, we didn't end the season good.
You nailed it, Al. No smoke and mirrors tonight. We don't need to do it with any skullduggery or underhanded predictions. They just got to go get her done.
That's right.
If we do lose, I'll be on the corner of 12th and Hennepin with a pack of Marlboro Reds and a bottle. If anyone wants to come join me afterwards, I'll see you there.
Schmitty, be sure to take your parka.
Oh boy,
could be a little chilly there. Well, hey Al, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the pick. You know you're batting 1,000 on the show here, so let's keep that streak going.
God, let's hope so. All right, man.
Thank you, Al.
See you guys.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah,
Take
buddy.
care.
Night.
Al, 1,000% or batting 1,000, 100% on his predictions. So we'll hope for us that way. Should we give Papa a ring before kickoff?
We'll see if he answers.
Was he
said he'd like
on the fence
watching
about
us
it?
better. Yeah, I told him that Schmitty wanted him on the show. It's all about Papa, so see what he does.
He had some
is
keen
that
insight
Dobbs
for
over
us.
there, Derek? Or Brooks?
Romeo Dobbs. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. And our
Jordy.
boy, Nelson. Jordy. He's the man.
call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
No
Yeah.
Papa this
Papa's
week.
already ready to roll. He's locked
Papa's
in.
He's too
Papa's
locked
into
in.
the
Can you
spotted
blame him?
cow.
What's that, Dad?
He's in the refrigerator getting the spotted cow.
Well, we
Before
can't hold that
kickoff, I
against
think.
him. I might
No.
have to do the same before kickoff here.
Well,
Oh, Derek
oh,
getting
look
the
at
Jair
this.
jersey ready to go.
Look at this, Travis Williams.
She feels better.
Oh, right.
I told her we need to get together.
The other one that we had on the horn last time was Kyle, Derek, your dad over there. What's his vibe for this game, Ben? Have you got any word from him?
I haven't got any word from him. I think he's a little under the weather from a little bit of COVID interactions.
Oh, no.
But
Ooh.
I'm sure he's fired up for the game. He was a little down yesterday, but this will probably, hopefully, charge him up. But I've not heard from him recently on predictions or anything like that.
All right, well, let's wish Kyle well. Feel better, buddy.
Absolutely. And
Come
how
on,
about
Pat.
Claire over there? Is she in attendance?
She is. What's your prediction or feelings towards the game?
I'm gonna watch.
She's gonna watch. That's actually a good start. Usually she can't watch. She's a little too nervous.
Well, I wrote them off this season, but they're gonna do it.
She thinks they're gonna do it.
Claire wrote him off, she says. Well, no one on this show did anything like that. We were
No,
much too
definitely not
loyal.
any of you guys.
Never doubted him, as Nick likes to say.
All right, well, before we sign off, I just want to I want to see number 9 running across the back of the formation on that jet motion action. I want to see him running up the field. I want to see him fake the ball to that.
Oh, we lose him mid.
Oh, dramatic.
Oh,
That doesn't
That's the way to
bode
go
well.
On next week's episode of Beta Boys Weekly, we'll see what
Hey,
Gar
if there is
was
a
about
next
to
week's
say.
episode, that bodes pretty well. We got to just keep the train rolling that way. Any final closing thoughts from the couch here for us, guys?
please take care of us, Aaron. You sexy man, you
Yes.
and gray beard running around. Throw some rockets out there. Get the ball to our friend 18 a little bit down in the middle of the field. Just please win this game. Please.
Hey,
Yes, please
I got a
win.
thought for you guys. I said early in the year you can't win a Super Bowl with a haircut like Aaron Rodgers had. He's since amended that. We had the hair looking good last week, like a functional member of society, and so I think there's no stopping us now. That's my final take on things. Thanks for
Agreed.
jumping on here, guys. Let's go get one more win and see you in the postseason.
Go Pack. Go Pack, go.